All right, guys, here we go. Action coming at you here from the Division 3 tournament. We got 10 players out here today, rocking and rolling, going to be at each other's throats, coming for the prize. It's not just the $20. It's not about the $20. It's about moving on to Division 2, moving on to Division 1, going pro, and beating Marco. That's why everyone's here. So we got 10 players, 2 groups of 5, round-robin style, best of 1. Top player from each group goes on to the championship. Simple as that. You guys know the drill. Let's see how we get things going here. The map's been playing pretty good. If you guys have been following a little bit, we've switched things up in the middle a couple times. We had some issues with the cliff and this and that, but anyway, here we are. For these lower divisions, these guys are picking their own factions. All you players that are in here ready to rock and roll, especially in Group 1, let's really try to keep the games going today. We got a lot of games to run, so we want to keep a nice rate of play here. Password 99. All right. So both players Soviet here. We're going to probably see a lot of Soviet throughout the day. This map, at the higher level you guys will see this month, this map's going to be pretty OP with Allied, actually, at the top level, but particularly because of the GI rush. Using that higher ground in the middle, coming over the hill with the GIs is going to be really, really devastating. We're going to see that all month long in the upper divisions, but in these lower divisions, the micro and stuff that goes into Allied is tough. You see these lower guys opting for Soviet more often. Both players get a drone inch, so that should be about even out here. So Fish on the left side, Fish, big supporter in the community, big sponsor. He's been a lot of help to me. Really appreciate Fish. He's a great guy. And he plays a lot of Blitz, just as of the last couple months. He's definitely a newer player, doesn't really play quick match, doesn't really play traditional, but kind of came into the scene in Blitz, and he gets quite a few reps in and definitely understands the fundamentals of the game here. So he's up against Gator. I don't know Gator very well. I know he's in the stream quite a bit, watch his stuff, but I haven't really seen him play much. I can't remember if he played last month or not. So yeah, so Fish gonna roll through here. Gator needs a sentry gun, nether sentry gun, yeah. Oh, that's a really nice sentry gun from Gator. Oh, and now Fish in between 2 sentry guns. Gonna need to pull back here. I'd like to see Gator pull those conscripts down as well, but it is gonna force Fish back for the time being. Balth, an absurd amount of adrenaline going. I like that. Balth's ready to rock and roll. I'm excited for Balth's debut. We got some fun names here. We got Matt. Matt playing in the second group from Fortune Chaos. You know, another Red Alert 2 streamer. We got Doofus, another Red Alert 2 streamer, and obviously the Zombie Slayer for those of you guys who watched him play the zombie map. So we got Doofus and Matt playing later. We got Balth making his debut. So yeah, should be a lot of fun today. First game, these guys even enough that neither player able to get much of an offensive advantage. Both players with war factories on the top. Fish going to bring in a paradrop top side, offensive paradrop. I'd like to see Fish grab that power plant. Oh, there's a sentry gun behind the war factory and a dog up as well from Gator to counter. Yeah, Allied super strong. I definitely learned my lesson this month. Having a high ground feature in the middle of the map that's this big really doesn't work. We did this similar thing on the crater map. We had issues with it as well. The crater map was also, it was a high ground feature that came very close to the opponent's base, and Fish gonna drive right in here, and Gator out of position. Maybe Gator gonna go for a base trade, but a little slow on it. Gator now not moving his tanks. So yeah, Fish gonna roll in here. And Fish had enough tanks to go back just to slow down the base trade, so Fish can kind of take this base trade here. Probably not really the right move for Fish. I mean, Fish should probably go back and just clean these up, but oh, Fish gonna run with his MCV. I like running with the MCV here. You don't really need to accept a base trade if you're up in Fish's position, but it's not gonna totally matter here. He is okay. Yeah, so because Fish has his MCV, I like this move. Fish is getting droned, though. Fish actually could lose his army here if he doesn't deal with these drones. There's quite a few conscripts as well, and Gator's still pumping the drones. So both players still have those war factories on the top side. This could get pretty weird here. Gator needs to get down and drone that MCV before Fish can deploy it. That's the most important thing. I'm not sure if Gator sees that MCV and Fish able to deploy it now. So Fish's MCV is out. Oh, and Fish not able to get that war factory. Wow. And this has devolved into a very wacky first game of the day here. It's both players trying to just kind of assess the situation and remember what's going on. Fish with an MCV in the bottom right, big advantage, but Gator does pick up the elite Rhino. Gator needs to really, and there's a lot of drones, so that Rhino's not going to stand much of a chance here. He's going to try to dive on this war factory. He baits the drones over. Oh, he's trying to bait the drones, I think, with those conscripts. Can that Rhino, can that Elite get a couple shots in? Can the Conscripts finish off this War Factory? Would be. Oh, Fish already has another War Factory. Keep forgetting Fish has a MCV because it's on the other side of the map. Yeah, very, very weird here. So now Fish regrouping. Gator in the top right. Gator's low power, so Gator needs to sell this Battle Lab. If you're low power, there's no reason to have the Battle Lab. So he needs to sell that Battle Lab. Maybe he's trying to build a Kirov, though, or something crazy. Who knows? Gonna try to push in here. Yeah, Gator needs to get something done. If Fish is allowed to rebuild with his MCV, he's gonna be in trouble. Ooh, and bad unit control there from Gator running past that hut and losing a lot of those conscripts. He had a pretty good group of conscripts there. They could have got some damage done on the rest of Fish's base, tried to put him low power. Gator now gonna bring out some siege choppers, which I think is a hilarious move. Gonna try to go on that cliff and get something done. I like the idea of it, but Fish should be able to clinch this one out. There really isn't a winning move here for Gator, but very wacky exchange there. Had Gator got down, if Gator would have gotten down and droned Fish's MCV, Gator could have easily won that game. That MCV move from Fish was ultimately what cut him in it. Yeah, totally missed the MCV move. Yeah, that was trick. That was clever though. When you go for a base trade, I think more players need to do that. Bring their MCV or hide the MCV, bring it with them, do something with the MCV just to slow things down. All right, so and already here in the D3 division, we're already seeing a game called How to Stop the GI Rush, and it is it's a very difficult game to play, regardless of your level. Well, it's one of those things where, like, so Nebras GI Rush was pretty nice. It wasn't perfect, but the problem is it was definitely at least D3 level, which is the problem is that, you know, as obviously the GI Rushes get better, the Soviet defenses get better. I mean, your ability to micro and control it, but opening with the dogs, securing that first hut, that's where it all starts. You know, the GIs do have to push through this bottleneck. So Gator, it all starts with that hut, and then that should buy him enough time. And then, like I said, building a little bit off, not building right along here, so you don't get as heavily outranged. And Nebras out now. Nebras bringing a GGI. Nebras is going to try to grab that genetic mutator. And one thing that's kind of interesting about this is, as the allied player on this map, so once you open like that, once you have the GI Rush in your playbook, now your opponents constantly are thinking that's what you're going to do. So now you see, look at Gator Spader here committing, you know, multiple flak tracks out. Oh, I'd love to see him get in and snipe out. Oh, snipe that engineer. Ah! That would have been nice. But yeah, I mean, so now you have your Soviet player so thrown off. I mean, now you got a Soviet player who's opening 4 flak tracks just because they're so worried about, you know, the GIs and the Iraqis and stuff. And so then as the allied player, then all of a sudden you can mix things up and not give that look. And you have a Soviet player who doesn't have their early Rhino advantage here. But I like this from Gator, actually, these flak tracks. I'd love to see him try to shoot down an Eagle, try to take out some of these Rockies, and try to get some value, try to slow down the allied player. We've talked about how expensive Rockies are, how expensive Eagles are. Shooting those down just really helps. But very nice unit control here from Nebras, gunning down a couple of those flak tracks. But you look at Nebras here, Nebras definitely behind. You know, losing some units early on. He's buying a lot, right? He bought that engineer, he bought the GGIs, so he's broke, but he does have this genetic mutator coming, which could be huge. Gator decided to use his paradrop offensively, which is an interesting decision. On this map specifically, you really need to have a target in mind. You really need to have a gap in your opponent's armor to get much value out of a conscript paradrop. They're just such weak units in general. I think oftentimes we've seen a lot of players using those conscripts, using those free units to fill bunkers or fill huts. I think that's generally better value. But Gator does need to be careful here. We do see a lot of GIs coming from Nebras, assuming Gator has it scouted. Oh, and that wall's not broken down. He's going to try to steal. He's going to try to steal the genetic mutator. Oh, he's not going to get... Oh, the sniper. The sniper out. So that genetic mutator's coming. So the genetic mutator, this is going to be quite a few brutes here. Gator needs to be looking to try to get some slight offensive value here. Snipers on this hill are going to heavily counter this this Desolator. I like he gets in and grabs that. Ooh, gets in, grabs the barracks, and does not lose an Eagle for it. It's so important against the allied player early game that you're shooting down every single Eagle that comes into your base. Brutes now on the attack. Oh, there's a Desolator in position. That Desolator could easily counter the brutes, but it looks like he's too busy with his own attack. Nebras at the same time sneaks a paradrop in the backside. The Rhinos are in, but looks like he's gonna have enough Grizzlies to counter. Gator has himself spread pretty thin. This is a difficult position for a D3 player right now, trying to play both sides of the map. Both players do trade MCVs. Let's see if Gator can gun down. He needs to click down these Grizzlies, and Gator could have the potential to close out this game if he can just hold now. Now, what's the target? He needs to avoid the defensive units here. Gets and Nebras down to a barracks. Down to a barracks, gets the AFC. Gator should be able to close this out, but this is a scary position. We've seen lower division players pull off comebacks like this with barracks only. With Desolators out, the Desolator should counter, but the big issue right now is that there's snipers out as well. So Nebras has a scary amount of units here. And I would love to see Gator repair his war factory. That's kind of stressing me out. Snipers. Oh, and the genetic mutator's coming as well. Oh, wow. This is... I don't know. This should be a win for Gator, but it's tricky. Oh, and I love the demo truck. Uh-oh. He's gonna lose his war factory. Oh my god. And Nebras targets the demo truck. And now he's trying to run that Desolator in, doesn't get the Desolator down. Gator's blundering this position. Okay, now Gator's low power. Gator needs to sell that flat cannon. I think he'd still be low power though. So Gator can still, now, okay, so keep in mind, guys.
Oh my god, he's blundering so hard right now.
The mutator is going to continue to be an issue here. Now, Nebras has the genetic mutator as well. Wow. All right, so Gator's going to gear up a Deso Bomb. Okay, so Gator can still build Desolators. That's the big thing, guys. And look, Gator's low power. Look, his radar on the left side's not swiveling. So Gator's low power. He needs to sell that flat cannon, try to get his power back online. Desolator's out. He's going to take these GIs. Now, Nebras can't build any more snipers. How many snipers does Nebras have? I don't see any at the moment. Oh, oh, he didn't get in. He needed to bring an engineer. Gator really needs to get an engineer and steal this genetic mutator. But now he's got his own barracks radiated at the moment. That's his last flag track. All right, so he uses the genetic mutator on the Desolators. That's a pretty good move. Should be able to gun these brutes down. Now. Oh, and he's going to target the radar. Oh, Gator, don't lose that radar, buddy. Not repairing the radar. Is he going to lose the radar? That's his ability to build Desolators. Saves the radar. So, Gator now swinging things. He has the genetic mutator. He still has his Desolators. Nebras says shit. So Nebras has one sniper in this group. And you guys got to remember, Gator's not getting any more tanks, so choosing to engage these GIs was not a good decision. Oh, paradrop top left. Oh no, he loses his barracks. Oh, but Gator picks up the elite rhino. Who knows? Hey guys, who knows, right? I mean, like, what are we doing here? Who knows what's going on? Who knows who's gonna win this? We still got 4 minutes left in this game. So it's one Desolator versus one sniper. I don't know. I mean, Nebras isn't building units for whatever reason. Gator just radiated his last flag track. Wow. So the sniper is going to counter the Desolator. Oh, he could take the Desolator up the cliff. He needs to go up the cliff with the Desolator. He has this elite. Oh, don't lose the mutator. Don't lose the mutator. Desolator coming in. Oh, the engineer tiptoes around the radiation, and a very good job from Gator edging in that top side. Nebras has his sniper on the bottom side attacking, and while that sniper's out of position, the Desolator can push in here, and these rhinos should be able to close out this game. This is just a matter of clicking the buildings. He dives on the barracks. He gets it. Oh my god. He has to micro this one. Oh my god, he's just out of range. Oh, that was incredible unit control. Oh my god. Can he get the pillbox to the last building? Wow, that was beautiful unit control by Gator. That was his last tank. He got it right out of, wow. Oh, did he have 2 snipers? Wow. Very, very, very interesting. Let's pull that up. All right, so the rhinos. Okay, so he pushes in. He loses the rhinos. He has that last elite, and it's smoking, and he gets just out of range of the GGIs. Guns down the power plant, guns down the pillbox, and takes it home. Very, very nice. Wow. Wow. Fish in here now in red. So Fish started the day super strong and was only stumped by Nebras' allied look so far. We've talked about it before. You know, Fish, a student of the game, definitely understands strategies and tactics and early build orders very, very well. But we did see him definitely struggle with Nebras' with Nebras allied look. So that's Fish's 1 loss so far. So Fish needs this win. He wants to finish this 3-1, and as you guys just saw, Zizo in beast mode, so certainly not going to be an easy task for Fish to accomplish here. So Fish on the left, we got Zizo on the right. Zizo, aggressive, traditional style, Rhino heavy player. The counter for it is tough, right? So, you know, counter number 1 is just be better, be faster, get more Rhinos, or have better unit control and just play Rhino Wars better than Zizo. At this level, that's a very difficult thing to ask of someone. Zizo just has really, really good unit control. I was speaking with him the other day after he won D4, and so Zizo is a very competitive, high-level StarCraft player. StarCraft? Warcraft, maybe. Anyway, another RTS game. Very top-level competitive player in that game. He had a friend kind of tell him about this. He started playing Red Alert 2 a year and a half ago, then just recently got into Blitz, and you can tell he's just he has an RTS mind, a very aggressive, clean player. So anyway, like I said, Fish, you know, you got a couple options against a player like Zizo. Number 1, be better, have better macro, have better micro, beat him at his own game. Number 2, if you can't do that, there is an early tech option for Soviet. You could build some bunkers, turtle in a little bit, resist the early pressure, go heavy economy, try to win the Trident race, right? You know, get your Battle Lab out, bring the Iron Curtain, bring the Dreadnoughts, bring the Kirov. That is viable. You know, you see that at the top level. You see some of these guys, you know, Kian, Marco, those guys, they have Soviet builds specifically designed to get those tech units out early. And they do work. You know, it is a viable option, but to do that, you know, you need to have good defenses. So you don't really see it much at the lower level, but I think that is something you'll see as the skill levels start to evolve a little bit more in Blitz. You will start seeing, even like in the Division 3, players more likely to have multiple plays in their book, whereas right now most of these guys are playing a non-tech game. It's very rare to even, we very rarely even see Battle Labs, to be totally honest. Yeah. So anyway, pretty even so far here. It looks like Fish, and as I said, it looks like Fish could be Fish going to try to beat him at his own game and could work. Crazy Ivan from Fish on the top side doesn't get in, but nice maneuver. I like that, throwing in random curveballs like that. You know, it's one of those. It's interesting. You know, the GTO, game theory optimal. You know, a very statistical way of looking at the game. If you look at a Crazy Ivan, there's a way to quantify the cost, right? The cost of the clicks and the cost of the money that it takes, and the opportunity cost of what you're not making while you're making it. And let's say it costs, you know, X amount. The question is, and it only works 20% of the time. The question is it worth it, right? Like, even if it only works 1 out of 5 times, is the cost still worth it in that position? And I think some of those random moves like that, a sneaky Crazy Ivan, stuff like that, even only working 20% of the time, I think it is still worth it. It's also nice to establish yourself as a player who does those kind of things, because then your opponent's constantly on their toes, constantly second guessing, constantly looking over their shoulder. So it is nice to be the kind of player who's known to do kind of wacky stuff periodically. So little engagement here on the bottom side. Yeah, and so you see Zizo not comfortable with this engagement here. I love Fish's use of the conscripts, and now the nice base walk from Fish. I'd like to see him primary that front war factory, get those reinforcements to the front line. Big engagement here. Fish out of position with his fodder. The conscripts a little bit late here. Zizo not bringing a sentry gun, though. He has the money for it, and Fish slowly going broke. Desolators from Fish topside, not able to get into position here. Fish could possibly try to micro these Desolators along this cliff, try to get some damage done. Both players with a lot of smoking Rhinos. This is a position where it's very, very difficult to appreciate who could be ahead, because it's hard to really know how many of these tanks are bruised on either side of the map. But Zizo does look ahead right now, and Zizo with the fodder, and Fish broke. So Fish did string himself out a little bit. The 4 war factories are looking really nice, but when you're broke, oh, and Fish brings a 5th war factory, guys. He was broke on 4, and he brought a 5th. Oh, no. Oof, that is not what you want. Fish is broke. He's going to continue to be broke, and he will be broke. And as you move into a mid-game, neither player getting a decisive pull ahead in the battles, it's an unfortunate position to allow your opponent to get a pull ahead on the economy, and that's exactly what's going to happen if Fish continues to be broke, which... Fish's economy... Oh, that engineer on a death run. Look at all the dogs. Oh, the dogs micro away. Oh, why isn't the engineer going? What's happening? Oh my God, that engineer's parting the sea. Why isn't the engineer dying? Okay, the engineer died. Never mind. Okay, another little battle here for the center. Oh, and Fish. Okay, all right. Fish's economy I'm kind of surprised. 4, 5. Oh, he's got more oils than I thought. Okay, all right. Big engagement here, though. Fish gonna pull back. Fish is losing here. This engagement. Ooh, and Zizo questioning himself a little bit, pulling back. Maybe saw that Desolator getting into position. So 5 War Factories, 2, 6, 7. 7 oils. Okay, all right. So Fish's economy. Yeah, I got a little dramatic there. I was really worried about Fish's economic situation, but even has the money to bring out a battle lab now. And so Fish gonna push tech. We talked about here, as Fish recognizing that he's a little bit down in numbers, he's gonna start pushing tech. But what was the other part of that puzzle? The other part was the defense. The defense. When Fish seeing that he's down here, I'd love to see Fish try to get some bunkers out, try to get some drones out, try to slow down this position. He's got the Iron Curtain coming. He just needs to slow things down a little bit. Yeah, that's a good point, Lloyd. Yeah, Fish could try to go for a base trade here. If Zizo accepted it, it would definitely be good for Fish. Fish pumping out the rhinos now. Zizo's got quite a few smoking units. Both players' economies are flush, so the production will roll on here. Zizo with a lot of rhinos, though. Zizo second guesses himself quite a bit. Zizo's ahead here, and he should be trying to get some value out of it, or at least playing off the center, trying to harass some buildings, trying to make something happen, because this switch over to tech for Fish, very, very nice move. Iron Curtain way ahead. Zizo doesn't even have a, hasn't even pushed tech. So, all right, so Fish in with the Kirov, and this Kirov's gonna be nice. It's gonna slow down Zizo's production of rhinos as he switches over to flak tracks. And Fish gonna bait a couple buildings here, and as he targets those war factories, I'd like to have seen Fish pursue a bit there and try to chip away a few of those rhinos on the retreat. Kirov pushing in now, gonna get a war factory, but again, guys, a nice value there, making Zizo switch over to those flak tracks, which theoretically should give Fish the opportunity to try to at least catch up on rhinos. Iron Curtain coming here, and it's gonna be a huge Iron Curtain. Let's see if Zizo lets it happen. Zizo might be looking to push. This nuclear reactor topside, obviously very juicy, would put Fish low power. Ooh, I like this playing off the cliff. Very, very nice position. Look at these units up here getting free shots. Very, very nice from Zizo. And look at that fodder advantage for Zizo is huge here. Although he's not really using it because the dogs are a bit out of position. And the Iron Curtain from Fish. The Iron Curtain from Fish. Let's see if Fish can tip the tides here with this Iron Curtain. Very nice retreat from Zizo. So the Iron Curtain kept him alive, but didn't get him enough value, and the second wave's coming here. Voodoo Woo Pass. So the bottom right corner, the super weapons are too small to see. So I have a layer that magnifies them. Yep, and so now Zizo just needs to slowly edge in. And an absolute banger of a match. Very, very close. Fish had the right idea across the board. I think, early on he tried to match him with rhinos. Actually was pretty close at one point. And then when he saw that he wasn't, as we moved into the mid game, I like that switch over to tech from Fish. But I think when he switched over to tech, I think Fish probably, I don't know, in these lower divisions, it's always worth kind of getting into what could have been done better as educational tools. I think when Fish got behind mid game and decided to go tech, that probably should have been matched with Desolators, drones, bunkers, just trying to really secure his position. Zizo never went tech, right? So if Fish could have got some dreadnoughts out, those probably should have been the offensive tools he could have been looking for. But it's really hard to say, like I always disclaim, everything's a little easier said than done up here. Fish definitely played that well, had the right ideas, but Zizo's a tough player. What can you do?
Warning.
Lloyd, yeah, pretty much. It'd be difficult. I don't think you could get the naval yard far enough off the shore. Just that there isn't that much space. This is all the further the screen goes down. There's some rocks and stuff, so you can get one like right here. But yeah, you're pretty much going to be along the shore. All right, guys. So we got Java versus Zizo. Zizo undefeated right now. So 2-0 right now for Zizo. Zizo looking really, really tough. Again, guys, our D4 winner in here, trying to take home another title this month. Been playing some really, really good blitz. He's really tough, so Zizo, keys to victory versus Zizo at this point, you got to think, like we talked about before, if you can't beat him with the micro, macro, rhino wars, I don't know, you got to try to go tech or something. Try to turtle, bring out early tech, maybe. So you could try giving him an allied look. Ooh, Zizo versus Nebras is going to be really interesting. We'll see if Zizo has a counter for Nebras GI rush. But I don't know. Zizo, very, very tough, traditional style Rhino War player. Oh, yeah, that's true, Gator. Yeah, you could build off the naval yard, maybe. A couple V3s, yeah, V3s are tough. The biggest thing with V3s is they're so easily countered by anti-air. Like, one flak track basically just counters the rockets. The range is nice here, though. They're especially good. They're also good to take out your opponent's these huts maybe. But the biggest thing is, a lot of newer players constantly ask that, like, what's wrong with the Apocalypse tank? What's wrong with the tank destroyer? And a lot of these units are viable. Like, I would rather have a V3 rocket than nothing. But the question is, would you rather have a V3 rocket than a Rhino? And so ultimately, with a lot of these units, it comes down to opportunity cost. And so, yeah, V3 rocket, Apocalypse, a lot of these units would be fun to have, but ultimately what it comes down to is the Rhino numbers are ultimately what are, winning or losing games is just the current meta right now. So in that time it takes you to be messing around with V3 rockets, your opponent gets a Rhino lead, and the game might be over before you have time to even, get the value out of the V3s. Very, very nice push here from Zizo. This is the aggression he liked. He likes to come in super, super early like this. Would like to see, that Sentry Gun out of position from Java. Sentry Gun not in a good position. That Sentry Gun actually could have made a huge difference. Java kind of overcommitted. He put a couple Sentry Guns here. Java's still able to hold this position, though, I think. But it's going to keep coming here. Zizo's on 2 War Factories and 4 oils, so the Rhinos are just going to keep pumping here. Yeah, and that's why there's a couple variations of the game. If you guys are playing games for fun, you can turn on, if you make your own lobby, you can turn on the Yuri's Revenge 2.0 or something patch. There's a patch where basically, different random units like the Tesla tank get a big buff, so they're like viable options to use, which is kind of fun. But yeah, in its standard form, it's a game of rhinos and tank control, and I think that's why. And then mixing in the fodder using conscripts and dogs. I think a lot of people kind of think that's like oh, it's just rhinos, but it's difficult to appreciate the unit control aspect. Like, it's not like you build rhinos and then just go send them in a line against each other. We talk about micro. That's every single click that you make, every single decision and direction you give to your units, and they make huge differences. A very good player can win rhino battles when he's down maybe 20-30% in numbers by properly microing, maybe using fodder, just those kind of things. So there is a very beautiful art to it, but it's oftentimes difficult to appreciate if you're not like if you're not a player yourself, or just by being in this position, we're not looking at the player's screens. And Java is playing a game called Keep My Head Above Water, and Zizo's playing a game called Shove Java's Head Underwater, and both players are winning right now. So yeah, so in the lower divisions, the players get to choose their factions. So most oftentimes in the lower divisions, players are more comfortable with Soviet. It's just a little bit more intuitive, easier to pick up. In the higher divisions, the pros are forced to play with set factions. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff. So like, you guys keep in mind, like, look at the Rhino's turret. In order to shoot, the turret has to swivel. Like, the turret has to swivel. There's like a strategy to that. Like, you watch Marco, you watch these pro guys, they're constantly moving their units around, jockeying for position. If there's a clash and like one person's units are facing the wrong way, all of those units get a free hit, and that can completely swing a fight. So the nuances to it are really, really interesting. Very nice genetic mutator. That's exactly what Zizo needed here. And Java pulling himself back into this, but that genetic mutator was so nice. Java gonna try to go for a base trade. He needs to stay on the run from these brutes. He stops to shoot that War Factory. I don't love that because Zizo has 5 War Factories. He takes the barracks, canceling the sentry gun. That's a decent move. Probably needed to... I don't know, actually. Java's got another wave. Java should have dove on the MCV, right? I think he should have taken the MCV there. He might not have a good scout in right now. He might not have this section of the map scouted. If a player has 5 War Factories, diving on a couple of them usually isn't a great idea. Zizo's brutes are going to keep him in this game right now. Another genetic mutator coming, but Zizo's in a tough spot, and well played from Java. I got a little distracted there on a rant about micro. I kind of thought Zizo was just going to hammer Java into submission, but Java has pulled himself back into this game. Now Zizo looking for the counter punch, and I don't think he has the units to pull this off. Desolator's now coming from Java, should counter those brutes very nicely. Oh, the Desolator does get down. Very, very nice counter, and Java again into his base, gonna dive on the MCV here, and Zizo caught out of position, and Java just pulled a comeback. Wow. I really thought Zizo, I guess I can't. Guess we can't say for sure yet, and I get a little too excited in these positions. Another genetic mutator from Zizo, but only gets a few units. Yeah, there's just no way that the Java could throw this, I don't think. Wow, and what a wacky game there. Oh my god, I need to go back and rewatch that one. Oh my god. Like, the first couple minutes of that game, Zizo was just pounding down Java's door. He must have, and Zizo also had an incredible back end. Look, he's on 22K. He had 5 war factories at some point. A lot of times in those kind of positions, if you go back and look, you'll see that there's a little bit of time where a player stops building from their war factory or something like that. Hard to say exactly what happened there, but yeah, Zizo gonna try to keep the push on here. Java has thrown some crazy games before. I do not think this is gonna be one of them though. Quick reminder, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. All those 3 things are free for you. Help the algorithm, promote this kind of content, get Red Alert 2 in front of more people, and slowly help Red Alert 2 gain its rightful position as the best game of all time, which you just saw there by that banger of a match. Shout out to Java for putting a win up there. I'm not sure exactly how he did it, but he did, and it was awesome. So Java puts a win on Zizo, and with that, guys, this is an absolute hodgepodge is the word of a bracket here. Everyone winning and losing. Very, very weird to not see more decisive pull aheads, but that's what we like. Really even games, banger matches here. All right. Java beats Zizo. So Java now. So Java's in. Java's last game. Nebras, you in here? We got Nebras in here. Java versus Nebras. Weird. Adam Wolf, weird win. The 2-2 dreams alive. Yep. Wow. Really weird day, huh, guys? Very, very weird day. But hey, we love it. We love the action. We hate blowouts, don't we? All right, so the question is, and Java goes allied too. How do you counter the GI rush? With your own GIs. That's one way to do it. All right, guys, all right. The hype is real. Final game here in group number 1, Nebras versus Zizo. They're both on 1 loss and 2 wins. Final game. Winner of this going on to the championship. We're then going to move on to the prelims in Group 2. Winner of Group 2 goes on to battle the winner of this. So far today, a lot of action. Appreciate all you guys coming out. Gator, Fish, Java. Lots of good games today, guys. Really, really fun division. Appreciate you guys hanging out in the chat, keeping me entertained. Yeah, fun day so far. And we got more action rolling on, guys. We got Group 2, we got the championship. We're going to get some free-for-all, some team games. Good day, good day. All right, and the GIs, and he gets his hut, and that is unfortunate. Guys, we talked about stopping this, stopping the GI pressure. It all starts with that hut. Not getting that is going to put you behind. And this could be a GG easy no re very, very quickly here. Zizo going to try to counter with flak tracks. That is a viable option. Nebras GIs are a little strung out here. You do need to run over the units, though, generally speaking. There is a strategy where you kind of shoot the GIs with flak tracks, as you just saw. Generally speaking, you wanted to do a little bit of combination of both. So Zizo out with the flak tracks to counter. Nebras goes broke. Early AFC, so that early AFC with the sniper does put him broke. This is a really unfortunate miss. This fully juiced hut is very, very annoying. Zizo's definitely on his heels here. And now Zizo brings out the radar and the Desolator. And that's not the right move, I do not think. The radar Desolator is going to really slow down his economy, and the Desolator is just going to die anyway because the sniper's already on the hill. The flak track counter, very, very nice move. Flak tracks countering GIs. It's a very viable option, and oftentimes used at the top level. We've talked about seeing Woody in one of Woody's Blitz debuts. He was using a similar strategy, using flak tracks to stop the GI rush. Offensive paradrop. Yeah, well, offense paradrop with conscripts, like I've talked about before. I think there's more value to be had using those to fill bunkers. Whew, that was really, really rough. You guys, Ivor, what is an example of bad unit control? Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty rough for those of you guys who saw that. So those flak tracks all get melted on separate missions, accomplishing nothing in the process. Zizo's still building flak tracks, not necessary. And so this is what we've talked about here. There is compensation. You say, Ivor, the GI rush is too OP. It's too OP. It's too OP. The thing is, it does put you broke. Backed by a sniper, especially the AFC and the sniper, it does put you broke. So Nebras is broke here. Zizo, step 1, counter the GIs. So Zizo did that part. Step 2, counterpunch the allies face off before they can resettle into their economy and start harassing you with eagles. So Zizo is now currently on step 2. We'll see if he can make that happen. He does need to start trying to get some value here. He's going to grab the mutator. I like the mutator move. I think that's a good idea. So right now with this map control, these tanks, I think another part is trying to counter the allied player, taking their paradrop on the top side. The double paradrop from the allied player, even though Nebras is broke, he's getting so many GIs, does get that oil. Can he take this paradrop with these conscripts? Come on, come on, come on, come on, buddy. All right, ooh, so he does engage that hut. Okay, you know, honestly, that hut needed to be cleared out at some point. That was a move for a V3 rocket, if anyone's wondering. I think the V3 rocket could have been good there. So Zizo's settling in, though. Zizo's playing his game. 3 war factories, his economy's rolling. Nebras is still broke. Okay, a lot of GIs coming here. A lot of GIs coming. The demo truck. What's the demo truck doing? Oh, the demo truck. Pretty nice move. Another demo truck? He must have watched my TikTok. Oh, so he takes out the GIs, takes out 1 war factory. He still has another war factory. That actually, low-key, probably was a pretty good move, right? I mean, he took out his entire offensive threat, and he still has war factories. Eagles coming in, and Zizo still has a war factory, even losing that one. Needs to use these flash tracks, try to take out these Rockies would be nice. Nebras' economy hardly catching up with him. Even still, he's just stretching himself so thin with these Rockies, the Eagles. But Zizo's got to be looking to get some offensive value, right, guys? I mean, he needs to try to make something happen here. Genetic mutator out, I like that. It's a lot of tank destroyers. Zizo does not tech. Oh, nice genetic mutator. Sniper, though, countering. Oh, careful with this HUD, Zizo. I know, I feel like I'm being a little biased right now. Honestly, everyone just saying Allied's so OP. I guess that's why I find myself kind of rooting against the GI rush in this tournament. You guys will probably see that throughout the month. I really have no bias here. Nebras, Zizo, I'm a big fan of both these guys. But yeah, just whenever I do think the GI rush is kind of OP on this map, so it's fun to see someone be able to counter it. Yeah, so far, really well played from Zizo. He had a plan for that GI rush. He handled it well as we move into a mid-game here, continuing to keep the pressure on. But I like this. I like Nebras. Nebras doing a good job here with these tank destroyers pushing back these rhinos, but he's pretty outgunned. And Zizo's one of those players where if he's up, you know, 20-30%, he wants to be up 70-80% before he drops the hammer. And oftentimes he's so far ahead in these lower divisions that that's fine. But as you start playing players that are more even, instead of having a game where you slowly get more and more ahead, a lot of times at higher levels you have games where the momentum is changing, who's ahead, who's not ahead. And oftentimes in those games, when you're ahead, you got to take a bite. You got to go in, you got to take a couple buildings, you got to slow them down, put them low power, take a war factory, take the tech. You don't really want to just kind of sit back and just keep building forever against him. Although, you know, like I said, in this position, Zizo oftentimes puts himself so far ahead it'll be fine. And that beautiful fodder there getting in. The Mirages are a little late. GI's out of position. And Zizo just needs to push in here and close this one out. Tries to use the Eagles defensively. Yep, and just too far behind. It's a lot of rhinos. A lot of rhinos. Yep. Yeah, Zizo takes that one home. Very nice. Nebras calls GG. Well played by Zizo and Nebras here, and the rest of the players in this division. A lot of good games today. A lot of good games. So, Lloyd's saying that Doofus beat RZA 5-0 in Yuri's Revenge in a show match the other day. So traditional, it sounds like Doofus quite a bit ahead of RZA, but RZA is pretty dialed in on blitz. We did see him last month, maybe the last 2 months. Definitely has his build orders down, as you saw in that last game. He pumps those rhinos hard and fast. So we'll see if Doofus has an answer for it here. Insanity, come on, buddy. We got divisions for everyone, man. We got Division 6. We got Division 7. That's for people who don't even know how to play the game. All right, so Doofus in red on the right, RZA in yellow on the left. RZA, pretty decisive first victory, and Balth is looking pretty strong. So RZA is tough. Doofus is a good player, though. Doofus is a great blitz player. And then we got Matt, the wild card in this bracket. But Matt may or may not be here. We don't know. All right. Very early, very similar builds. 2 oils, 1 war. Hassan, that's a good question. We had a big turnout for D2 tomorrow at the moment. I haven't sat down and looked at it. Possible we'll be doing 2 groups, though. Yeah, RZA is definitely looking tough here. But you never know. Don't sleep on Doofus. That's what you say, man. Doofus will smack you over the head. You start doubting the doof, smack you over the head. That's what we call him, the Zombie Slayer. All right. Both players pumping now. Fodder, looking possibly early engagement. I love these lower divisions, you know, players. A lot of times we get super entertaining games in these lower divisions. It's kind of funny. It's like college football. It's not relatable. You guys aren't from America. No one else cares about American football. But the point is, lower divisions of any sport, it's kind of fun because there's just more going on. Like, oftentimes with many games and sports, the meta boils down to being so, like, rigid that at the top level, you have to really appreciate the top level of the game. Like, it's, like, really finesse, like, very, very, like, micro decisions and those kind of things. Whereas at the lower level, you see so much more wacky stuff happening. I mean, like, but players generally aren't using Desolators very well, so dogs and conscripts are getting way more done. People are building Tesla troopers, people are throwing and base trading, and I don't know, it can be fun. It's pretty wild. I enjoy it. I enjoy them both in their own ways. And then you get, like, at the top level, obviously you have the, you know, some of the best players in the world going at each other in a competitive match, and it's just, like, insane, you know, the level of skill and knowledge that's going into each decision. So it's definitely fun to watch throughout the month, you know, the different divisions as we evolve in skill. All right, so RZA again, gotta be ahead here. Yeah, I think he is. It's pretty even, actually. So we got both on 4 factories now. Similar oils. Okay, both players. Yeah, neither player comfortable pushing into the defensive advantage of the other. Both players just kind of jockeying for position here. And you can see both top-level players here. Units always moving. That's a sign of a good player. The Rhinos never take a smoke break. So RZA does have the higher ground here. Could try to chip away at a couple Rhinos. Paradrop on the backside, pulling all of his tanks back. And that HUD, I love RZA. Having that HUD fully juiced right now is really, really nice. Keeps Doofus from hanging out in that zone. Doofus now with a few smoking rhinos at the front of his group. Doofus looking for an opening here. Neither player with much fodder, but you see RZA pumping the dogs to the front lines. All right, so RZA's economy is quite a bit ahead here as he brings out his 5th factory. But Doofus is already on 5 factories. Okay, I like that. Okay, Doofus, very nice unit control here. Okay. Yeah, I like this. I like this for Doofus, I think. I think Doofus is proving just slightly better unit control. Oh, but look at that. Wild card, bottom side. Demo trucks coming out. Perfect war factory for it. And the demo trucks going straight in. Straight into Doofus's base. You love it. You love to see those wild card plays like that. Always, always fun. And RZA should not accept a base trade, I don't think. Yeah, RZA just needs to click down these tanks. Yeah, and Doofus trying to get some offensive value. He knows he's going to fall behind on the back end with those hits. Needs to be very, very careful here. I don't know. I mean, Doofus, it's a tough position, right? So now 3 factories to 5. Pretty big hits to his economy as well. And now Doofus has to rebuild his barracks. It's a difficult position. Doofus is kind of forced to make something happen here, I think. which is exactly what RZA wants. Doofus does not really have the tanks to push. I'm just not really sure if he has another option. Yep. RZA going to click down those tanks. Doofus now in a bad spot. Yeah, he's a good, RZA in traditional, from what I've heard, I mean, people talk, I don't really see him play much traditional, but he's not a known traditional player, but we saw him last month as well. He's a great blitz player. Allow himself to lose to a D3 player for any reason. All right, guys, so we got Doofus in red on the right, we got Balth in yellow on the left. Yeah, we'll see. This one should be pretty even. So you guys, you know, the fun's been a little bit spoiled because RZA is too OP. Now we know, though. I always forget that. I'm always like, should the winner stay or the loser stay? The loser should stay in because that keeps it competitive. You know, obviously these tournaments, it's all about getting players out here, having fun, getting competitive games. So that's definitely the idea. Doofus building a war. Yeah, D3, D2, D2 is usually a little bit smaller though. D2 this month should be pretty good. I feel like the last couple months I feel like we've had pretty small D2 turnouts, but tomorrow I think we got like 8 D2 players or something. So D2 should be pretty good tomorrow. But yeah, but you guys month to month too. You know, we've always talked about filtering players out. Both I think Zizo and RZA are just bona fide D2 players. We'll probably be moving both those players up next month, and that's the idea. So if you feel like in your division, like, hey, I'm not good enough. It's not, I don't usually like to move players down, but I do move the good players out. And then so you kind of get to stay in your division and slowly develop yourself in that division. But we got a couple players who are right on the precipice. I think Nebras is like right there. One more month in D3. I think Nebras will probably be going D2. But it's fun to watch players kind of grow. But number one, the biggest thing is getting competitive games. That's why there's 7 divisions, to separate players by skill so that we can get competitive matches. The competitive matches are what are fun for the spectators, fun for the players. So that's definitely the idea. And with quick match will make it nice because quick match, you know, you can just go play. Like when someone says, oh, what division are you? You pull up, go into quick match, play a couple games. You can be like, oh, I lost to rank 20, but I beat rank 40. You know, we can use those kind of metrics to feel it out, get players into the correct division. So get hyped for the quick match, guys. It'll be out August 1st. I'm really, really excited. August 1st, guys, I'm doing a 12-hour stream. 12-hour stream, case of beer. I'm going for quick match number 1. I'm going to see if I can beat Marco and Keen. I've spent all this time up in the booth studying their tactics. I think I can take down the Octo Kid and the Goat. All right, so Doofus does get in, grabs that genetic mutator. Doofus ahead now on tanks. Doofus out with a Desolator as well. All right, so he's going to use a Desolator to try to control this mutator. I like that move. Yeah, if he gets this mutator off, the brutes could be enough to swing this game for Doofus. Nice drone from Balth. Obviously, that's the counter. Yeah, Balth's watched more Red Alert 2 than probably anyone. So he's definitely a student of the game. You know, he just recently started playing, obviously, but I just love that he's the kind of guy who figures it out, understands the assignment, and does a good job imitating the top level players. Because ultimately, that's the best way to learn a skill. You know, imitate the people. You know, not fake it till you make it. Fake it till you become it. That's what it's all about. Oh, did Balth used to play? I didn't know that. I haven't heard of him playing in a long, long time. I guess I assume anyone who loves the game as much as Balth, I assume at one point they played. I mean, it's kind of like me. Like I used to play. I played 15 years ago. You know, like I literally, you know. But maybe Balth did. I don't know. I'm just making shit up. I'm just kidding. Brute's out now. It would be kind of funny, like I just turn the chat off so no one can contradict me. So like in Twitch, everyone would be like, Ivor, this doesn't make any sense. But then on YouTube, the YouTubers wouldn't see the chat. So everyone on YouTube would be like, oh, wow, really? John Bob is Marco's younger brother. The younger brother thing is always funny in this game because, you know, we can see players what IP addresses they play on, so it prevents people from smurfing. But, you know, faking to be a lower level player. But the big issue is if someone's like, oh, I have a younger brother who wants to play. That always makes it a little tricky. Zed asked me about his brother playing, and I'm like, Zed, if your brother wants to play, he can. I know you, I trust you, but everyone is gonna say it's you smurfing. So Zed, if you're prepared for that, you can do it, but. So Zed's brother's Blitz debut. Everyone get ready for that one. The people in chat are gonna be on a field day with that. Nice desolator from Doofus, but he is out tanked here from Balth, I think. See if Doofus can get another genetic mutator out to help even things here. Doofus with Iron Curtain advantage. He's on the radiation. Does he use Doofus on a lot of radiation here? Doofus has the Iron Curtain. Doofus has a nuke coming. Doofus has the genetic mutator, the Iron Curtain, and the nuke. Sorry, I don't have the layer for the nuke timer. Oh, the perfect Iron Curtain going to push back these tanks. This is a pretty high-level battle here, the way the players are controlling their tanks using the desolators. But Doofus's Iron Curtain just gives him a huge edge there. Pretty much going to be a game-winning IC. Doofus just needs to track down these tanks, click them out, rally his troops, send it downfield. Hey, Gator Spader, thanks for coming out, man. Glad you had fun. Yeah, some good games, man. Yeah, like I said, month to month, I think we're getting things a little bit more competitive. I think you'll be a good fit in D3 next month. You did good this month. Everyone did good this month. There was just a couple players that were just really, really good this month. But you played good, Gator. Yeah, get Artie's little brother and Zed's little brother. And then both, basically, it'll just be Artie and Zed playing each other, but they'll have to talk. They'll have to like talk like they don't know what's going on. And Doof is closing things out. The Doof. Yeah, yeah, it's also, ooh, nice drones. Yeah, it's also, oh, he used to play a lot. I didn't know that. I didn't know Balth used to play a lot. I haven't heard of Balth playing since I came back into the community about a year and a half ago. Yeah, it is. Well, it's tricky too. It's tricky too in this round robin format. One really dominant player, you just really feel it, right? So like RZA, you really feel him in the second group. But ultimately, yeah, really even today. Zizo's pull ahead in the top group was super, super even. RZA is just a little bit more dominant. And it's hard to get 10 people together and not have one player that's going to be dominant. Yeah, that's funny. Like Artie and Zed secretly just want to be nice to each other, so they use their fake smurfing little brothers, and they just like compliment each other and can finally be friends. Nuke coming, nuke coming. Oh, the game-ending nuke. Sick. All right, guys, the championship round coming at you here for the Blitz World Series Division 3 event. Zizo going 3-1 in his group number 1, going on to the championship. RZA going undefeated in his prelims, 4 wins, 0 losses. So RZA versus Zizo, pick your own factions, best of 5 to see who's the winner of the D3 event, and most importantly, who's going to be moving on to Division 2, taking place tomorrow at the same time. Doofus, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about this? Where are you putting your money?
This is gonna be tough, bro. I'm not sure if Group 1 was tougher than Group 2. Zizo did have 1 loss in Group 1, but yeah, I'm not sure. This is gonna be a banger, Ivor. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I think, yeah, and Balth saying in the chat, RZA is hard to beat against, hard to bet against. Decisive, fairly decisive 4-0 victories in the prelims. His macro, he's one of those players right now where you look and you're like, why does he have so much more of everything than his opponent? Now, with that being said, Zizo, like I talked about before, he plays very competitive StarCraft or Warcraft. I keep forgetting. Someone correct me. He's a competitive RTS player. Has been playing Red Alert 2 for about a year and a half, though. Does play a little bit of traditional as well. But ultimately, what I like about Zizo... Wait. Yeah, Zizo, yeah, sorry, that Zizo, that he's a student of the game. The fact that he has that other RTS knowledge, we'll see. The question is, when he was watching RZA, did he learn anything? Did he find a way to counter him? With playing each other blind, I think RZA has proven himself to be slightly ahead, but we'll see if Zizo can pull some tricks out of his hat, or if he's seen some possible weaknesses, studying RZA as he played through his prelims, and if he can pull something out here. Starting things off, looking pretty even.
Pretty even, Ivor. I just want to mention I did pull up the predictions for you for this finals. Get your votes in, boys. Get your predictions in.
Predictions in. We got to close them quick here because the game's already started. Get those predictions in, guys. It'll be fun to see how you guys are feeling about it. I think I'd have to put my money on RZA, but I do like Zizo's a smart player. I think he can give him a run for his money.
Zizo has the eco to sustain 2 war factories, going 2 war factories earlier than RZA there. But they're pretty even, 5 oils each.
Yep, and Zizo's, wow, look at Zizo's economy. It is staying above, and oh, but he brings out a 3rd war factory.
Opting for a 3rd war factory on 5 oils.
It's sustaining though, his economy is sustaining. Wow, Zizo is running a razor thin margin right now. He cannot afford to pump any fodder. Very nice.
As soon as he pumps out a dug, it's gonna go broke.
Yep, gonna get in, pushes out that hut, trying to clear some space. Wow, and Zizo, you okay? All right, so now both players on 3 factories, 5 oils. Yeah, so very even right now. Looks like RZA's,
Oh, there goes. Huge tank battle in the mid.
Yep. Both players with a bit of conscripts, both players not with incredible micro control, and Zizo's going to get in and grab that genetic mutator. We've talked about it in these kind of games where they're this close, it can make a big difference. And RZA, look at that sneaky war factory right on the front line there on the bottom. Keep an eye out for the demo truck. That's what did you in, Doofus. That was versus him, right? Yeah.
That's right. The radar is out, so I am expecting this demo truck, but in the meantime, huge battle in the mid again, and Zizo might take it. I don't think we're going to see a demo truck. RZA needs to keep building tanks to defend.
Yep, that's absolutely right. And we've talked about this before. These kind of players who are so used to playing up, they're always ahead. They're always so far ahead. They don't get used to playing defensively. And that could be the case right here. But we do see Zizo pushing into the other hut, completely clearing out the map now as RZA brings out the Desolators to try to slow down the bleeding right now. And you're absolutely right. I think RZA wants to bring the demo truck on the bottom side. Could be a very nice move, but I don't know if he can afford to stop building rhinos. The prediction might be off. It looks like we have Fish and Zizo in the prediction, so Fish is RZA in that case, if that is the case.
Oh, really?
Not exactly sure.
Oh, shit.
Fish. Everyone wants Fish. Everyone votes for Fish. So Fish is the other player. You guys can figure out. You're smart. Drones to counter those Desos. Oh, and 2 drones get in. Very nice from Zizo.
There's a demo truck.
Demo truck coming bottom side.
It's gonna get 1 war factory for sure. Yep.
Yep, smothered it, but did get a war factory. That's a nice hit. RZA's got to be looking to try to get some offensive value here.
He is on 5 war factories now, so he should outproduce it, but will he have the time to?
Nope, and yeah, and look at this is just a storm of rhinos now. He's got the fodder. The Desolators are coming out. Look at that unit control. He split his tanks to gun down that Desolator, wiping out the MCV, and Zizo proving the haters wrong. A lot of people feeling like RZA was going to easily take this one home. And Zizo, what do you think about that, Doof? That looked like a pretty decisive victory to me.
It was. And I'm not sure where. I think it was the first tank battle where Zizo got ahead there, and that decided the game right there. Red not able to recover.
Yep. Very interesting. And I was kind of getting into there for a second, but you'll see that oftentimes, especially in the lower division, if you're the player who is running reps against players and you're always winning, you don't get experience playing defensive. You don't get experience playing on your heels. You don't get experience having to pivot. There was a position in that as we moved into the mid game there where RZA was behind and he wasn't going to catch back up on tanks, and he needed to go more defensive and try to look for something else to mix things up. You saw him, he only had 1 sentry gun at the end there. He never really made that switch over. The Desolators came, but you just see, anyway, like the point is, you can tell RZA is the kind of player who's used to steamrolling people, and he has a really good plan for that. And he didn't look like he was very comfortable switching over to being on his heels, and Zizo was able to roll through. But the action rolling on here. We'll see what we can get out of point 2.
See what we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Ivor, I really hope that one tank battle does not decide the entire game, and that they will pick the right moment to engage. I'd love to see a huge tank battle and just both of them retreating and going back at it.
Yep. Those are always fun. Yeah, and then those switches over to slow things down once you get behind, using the tools at your disposal, that using drones and desos, defensive structures, maybe a tech push, using those kind of things to try to mix things up if you do start getting down. But these guys look at early on just so even, tank for tank, building for building, very close.
And I think they both go second war on 5 oils, so similar builds.
Yeah, slightly different here as you see RZA out with a power plant. Can you have 4 oils on 1 power plant? Or is Zizo low power right now, Doof? Do you know?
He's low power, I believe. Yeah, he's low power.
Yeah, you can't.
There it is. There's the power plant. Yep.
Yeah, that should be an accident. I don't think it's worth it to go low power to get that extra oil pumped.
No, no, you really need to go second power plant before the fourth oil.
Yeah, questionable from Zizo, but hard to question the guy in the final. I guess whatever he's doing is working. Now, here's the question, Doofus. When you drop the paradrop on this fence, will any of the conscripts get impaled and have a spike go through their stomach? Have you ever seen that before?
I've seen it only on, I think it was Family Guy, but...
Yeah, Berg, can we get an exclamation mark, Berg? I'd like that to be in the game. I know, Berg, you're working on more important things, but I think having conscripts get impaled when they land on the Yuri fence, that's really important to me.
Zizo going for the first mutator.
Okay. RZA is pronounced Riza. Yeah, I use the most phonetically simple version of each person's name. Everyone has like 5 different names. I never know what it is. They change them. So I just use the simplest version to kind of keep track of things. It's difficult with so many players. And then if a player specifically messages me and says, hey, use this name instead, then I switch it up. But I can't really trust the chat. You guys remember the Latoof situation? I spent an entire series calling. I spent an entire series calling Latov Latoof. So unfortunately, I can't trust you guys anymore. Got to go with my gut. And if a player wants me to change, they got to DM me. All right, battle raging on here. Zizo looking ahead again, huh?
Yep. Sorry, I'm still thinking about Latoof. Let's see. Is he ahead though? Oh, the split the path thing. He's definitely ahead. Yeah. Okay. 1 free Rhino there, and Zizo gonna push. Nope, not yet.
RZA, I like the conscripts instead of the dogs, though. I think in most of these situations, the conscripts are the better choice. You don't really need the speed of the dogs that you often need in traditional situations. I'm a conscript fan in most situations in Blitz, I think.
Yeah, me too. But and free units is also pretty always nice to have.
Yeah, the paradrop. Oh, but the genetic mutator.
Oh, the genetic mutator.
Very nice.
This one decided.
And that was a very well orchestrated attack. Desolator's a bit out of position there. And again, we're seeing RZA just a little late on the defensive maneuvers here. The Desolator's a little bit late, never made a switch over to drones, and again, no defensive structures. And you look at RZA's money, right? So RZA on 8K, RZA could have been, he could have been building defensive structures. He's on 10K now, but you know, no tech push, no defensive structures. He could have spammed Desos. There are some things he could be doing, but yeah, he's a ride or die Rhino player for sure.
Yeah, he really needs to bring out a lot of Desos. He's got 15K. He should spam them out like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Switching over to drones. He's gonna try to take the genetic mutator again to give him that edge. He's not out of it though. He still has 4 war factories while Zizo also has 4. So if he's just spam out like a ton of desolators.
Yep, you got to spam the desos. Possibly a short switch over to drones, but you could spam the desos. We've talked about that before. Giving your opponent the opportunity to blunder. If you have desos out, your opponent can make a big mistake. You know, we've seen those mistakes. Even at the top level, we've seen good players get caught on radiation. Without desos out, it's very difficult. Like Snark said, Zizo would have to start individually shooting conscripts. Not so far ahead here, though. That big fodder advantage, though.
Desos out of place. The barracks will go down, and no more Desos.
Yeah, Desos down. Yeah, gonna hit that radar.
Okay, radar.
Yeah, good. That's a good decision. Good decision making from Zizo taking that radar. Yeah, and RZA gonna try to go for the base trade. Good decision. You never know. Zizo might get cocky or confused, but unfortunately not. Zizo's cold-blooded, man. He's a smart, calculated player.
Yeah, both of them with an elite, but Zizo with the tank numbers here. Still pumping them out, and he's still on 4 war factories versus 2.
I saw that in the chat the other day, Doofus. Someone was like, Doofus getting hyped for an elite Rhino when there's 50 Rhinos out. And I was like, damn, I totally do that too. Every time I see an elite,
elites,
I'm psyched.
I love elites, boys.
They're always, and they make a huge difference, man. I mean, they make a huge difference. But regardless of how many tanks are out, if I see an elite, I'm always hyped.
Yeah, bro. And the thing is, you know, everybody's focused on the elite, even the players. I need to get that elite. And also, when you have an elite, what will you do with it? Will you keep it in the back, send it send it in first? It's hard to control that elite because it gets a speed boost as well, you know?
Oh, that's right. So anywhere you send it, it's going to be kind of leading the charge, which really isn't what you want.
It's going to be leading the charge, yeah. So.
Yeah. No, is there a hotkey to grab your elite unit? I feel like there is.
Yes.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best is the elite IFVs. Like, as soon as a good player gets an elite IFV, they immediately send it, loop it around the entire map, and start backdooring the opponent. Those are always fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a button for elite and veterans, I believe. I'm not sure. Or is it the same?
All right. So, yeah, and so I can't pull up the prediction. Can someone tell me what the percentages are at right now? Because if you guys in the chat were anything like me and Doofus, you guys had this one all wrong. Because we were all like RZAOP, da.
I went all in on fish.
Yeah, all in on fish. Yep, and Zizo going beast mode.
Yeah, 92% on Zizo.
RZA.
Wow.
RZA was only this. It was 93% on Zizo? Oh, well, the prediction was probably up after the first point. These guys all cheated. You guys can't trust these guys in the chat. All right. So let's see. Hey, we could be witnessing an epic comeback. Could happen right here, right now.
Happen right here, right now. They have switched positions, so red is on the right side. Was right side OP, boys? Red is gonna prove us wrong. Or right here, boys.
Yeah.
Maybe the right side is better.
Maybe they're. Hey, you're a little closer to your grab bar, right? It's like you can grab your buildings a little bit faster, click your buildings a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But we'll. Yeah. It's The biggest thing is, the question is, are you the kind of player? Do you, if your strategy stops working against an opponent, do you have a different strategy? And a lot of times we've talked about that in these lower divisions. People are very one-dimensional players. They have a plan and they're going to do the plan. And if the plan is being heavily countered, they're still going to do the plan. But we'll see if RZA can try to mix things up a little bit here, because Zizo's not a flawless player by any means. He's just playing the Rhino war game very well. So RZA could try to. There's other strategies. There's early tech pushes and stuff, but I'm not sure if RZA has those up his sleeve.
Not sure. He gives away a tank there to the drone. They're even 5 tanks each. Double war factory for red. And I believe Zizo is going for a second war factory right now and going for the genetic mutator.
Yep. And Zizo.
There it is, the second war.
Zizo looking tough. The genetic mutator out. There's a paradrop top left. AFK at the moment. The fence is up, so that paradrop can't really do anything. So RZA gets the wall down. He's going to try to get in and grab. Ooh, he does need to try to protect this engineer, though. Okay, does get it in.
No father for red, though. Does he need it? He needs something. He's going broke.
Yep.
Needs some. Okay, there are 2 dogs there.
Wait, okay, Doof, you gotta say RZA for yellow, because when you're saying rad, it sounds like red, and the YouTubers are gonna get confused.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
RZA.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right, RZA's got the conscripts coming. Oh, nice. The conscript paradrop targeting a power plant is nice, because it's about the only building.
That's a good hit. Yeah.
Yep. And if it puts some low power, that can be nice. The elite conscript going off. No, okay, never mind.
Now Zizo is in trouble. He's on low power. That's gonna slow down his tank production by a lot.
Yeah, and RZA's pumping.
Yep. There's the power plant, and not sure if he's still low power. He might still be low power at this moment.
Yep, and I like this. Now RZA should be able. RZA's ahead for sure. They just keep trading the genetic mutator. Neither player able to get enough map control to prevent the other player from getting it. But RZA, these conscripts, pretty even right now. Oh, and a perfect sentry gun from RZA. Very nice.
Perfect sentry gun. Needs to target those tanks.
Oh, RZA.
Take the high ground.
Barn burner. Love it. Takes the high ground. He's got him on the run. Time for the counter punch. He needs to be careful. This hut. RZA really needs to avoid that hut. That top left hut is still kind of scary, especially with Rhino numbers like this. Zizo keeping the pressure on.
Gonna try to get the mutator again.
Yep, and that one engineer. Now another thing I want to add to the does he get the genetic mutator?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, the dogs.
no
That's a big
fodder.
fodder advantage. Very nice. And that sentry gun gets tied up shooting dogs. Nice. Better fodder from Zizo for sure. Oh, Zizo's fodder gets out of position. Gonna lose that fodder.
Nice.
RZA
Taking care of the
conscript.
father.
Another paradrop topside. Oh, the higher ground. They could have killed those dogs with the higher ground there. They're gonna get gobbled up. And
RZA taking the wrong fight here, boys. Oh
Yeah.
no.
no, that was not the battle. He went in a little bit. It got a little spread out too. There's some fodder there that absorbed some good damage early on. He does pull back to his sentry gun. Now getting slightly behind here. And RZA on 10K, guys. 10K. So he's now on 6 war factories. And now's the time to pivot, RZA. Give him something, dude. Like, bring the radar, bring that demo truck on the bottom. Maybe, I don't know. Defensive structures, like, how many sentry guns could he have right now, Doofus? How many sentry guns should be there? 100 sentry guns.
Correct. Oh.
Gobbled up.
Zizo.
Yep.
Zizo, boys. Elite comes out.
The elite comes out.
The elite comes out. The war factories go down, and it's a clean sweep. GG's called from RZA.
Zizo, our champion. That's true, Balth. You guys know me. You guys know. I get a little excited, then I apologize. You can't expect players to do everything at the same time. Hats off to both these guys. You know, that scoreboard, I don't think showing how close that was. RZA definitely hanging in there, but Zizo's a beast.
Zizo's a beast going through D4, D3s. He's going through so many Ds. There's got to be a joke in there, Viver. I don't know, but
Someone in chat will take care of that for us, I'm sure.
There's
A
gotta
lot
be
of
a joke in
Ds
there.
for